Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is Ingrid Kara-Zinger here with Michael Vachmiel.
Hello.
We are here live on the Positive Impact Project, PIP, a docu-series that is showcasing the light workers, those who work in service for humanity. And we are going to talk today with Michael about his work and anything he wants to share with us. We're going to pick his brain. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them in there and we will try to get to them during the show. Thanks so much for watching, and thank you for coming on our show today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about what you do right now.
As of right now, I'm a licensed massage therapist in the state of Texas. And I use the combination of the modalities of massage with energy work to help relieve the emotional pain and stress of day-to-day life for my clients and guests.
Wonderful. And that sounds like something that is strenuous for you.
Very strenuous. It's very intense.
A very physical job.
Physical and emotional, yes.
Okay. So do you find yourself doing also counseling with your clients, spiritual counseling?
As a licensed reverend, I keep it strictly into spiritual matters because no matter how much you want to help people, you have to have that boundary of ethics. So if it's a physiological problem within the realms of massage, I can counsel it, body aches and pains. If it is a soul issue that hurts, they're in pain, and they need that person to listen to them, then as a legal reverend, I can take on that burden as well. But when it starts to mix into deeper emotional issues, that is when I am there as a licensed professional to guide them to where they need to go, what type of counselor they need to take them to that next level of healing. So in many ways, I help alleviate the problem, but I also act as that gatekeeper to help guide them to that next level they need to go to achieve the positive goals and transformations they wish to achieve.
Okay, so you have a lot of balls in the air.
A lot of balls in the air, yes.
Sounds like you do a few things all at once.
I do.
So that's wonderful. And so tell us a little bit about really how you got into this work.
Well, my primary partner, Sonia, she is a massage therapist. And as she went through her learning, I saw how massage could really have a powerful, transformative experience on the human condition, not just physically, but for stress relief, for spiritual and physical awareness, for attunement, to bring a person back down to earth. Many times you hear that terminology of being ground and centered, where you want to have that reconnection to yourself. But in day-to-day stress, where you have so much overwhelming sensory input, it's really difficult to achieve that. So my goal, my objective, is to take those techniques and help a person become reattuned to themselves, to acknowledge that sacred spirit within and realize that they are their own being and not torn apart in 1,000 different directions.
Wow, that's awesome. So you were able to see her do it and the benefit, and that kind of got you drawn into the work.
Exactly.
And would you say that you've always been kind of drawn or interested in service?
Yes, I've been a volunteer for hospice before in my life, so I've helped people make that final transition from this world to the next and try to give those last few days up on this reality as pleasurable, as humane, as spiritual, as comforting as possible to those making that transition between life and death. And so I've been in service for that for close to 30 years. Even as a young man, helped first with family and then with friends with AIDS and other diseases, those who unfortunately wreck themselves with poor lifestyle choices such as heavy drinking or drugs, and they've experienced organ failure. So even growing up through harsh times without the practical experience, there's always an internal calling to reach out and help others. So as I grew older, I learned the techniques, the skills, the legalities of how to do it in the most positive manner possible.
That's excellent. So you really sought out, you thought, okay, I really want to help, I want to do something for others, and then you kind of sought different venues, different ways to do that.
Right.
So through your life, you ended up with this kind of a combination of
Right.
things that you're good at.
Yes.
Okay, that's excellent. So currently, right now, you have massage therapy business.
Right.
And what is the website for that?
MichaelVachmiel.com.
Okay, so if someone wants to, and they're in the Houston area, they can see Michael for massage therapy, spiritual counseling.
Aromatherapy, the whole realm of that physical technique, energy work, Reiki, things of that particular nature.
And also, you make things.
Yes,
also,
I do.
don't you?
I am an aromatherapist. I have a very successful Etsy store that can be reached at michaelvachmiel.com. There's a hot link. And we handcraft our own incense with essential oils, which is very important because by using essential oils, as the oil is released, then the nature of the oils, the energy that is contained within for that particular belief system then comes back into the human body. So instead of alcohol or just perfumes or carcinogens, you're actually bringing in that energy, that desired effect into you, and it also changes the energy of the room.
Wonderful. So handcrafted incenses, that's really wonderful too. So you've just found so many different ways
Yes.
to bring and manifest the spirit into the world. So what do you see for yourself moving forward? Do you have any
The feedback
Hands
has
in the
been
fire.
wonderful. In less than a year, we have 100 successful feedbacks on our Etsy store, which for any entrepreneur that has tried to make the bridge between helpfulness and counseling into a commercial venture upon which you can have a benefit in that particular realm, that's always a struggle. So that feedback is so important and so welcome. We have created a successful network of guests and clients for a massage practice. So looking where spirit is making us successful and guiding us, we're hoping to actually create a larger metaphysical center, not based on actual concrete principles, traditional Chinese medicine, aromatherapy, massage therapy, hydrotherapy, sensory exploration with floating tanks and things of that nature, where people can come to detox and learn to be human again.
Wow, that sounds exciting. I would go there.
Yes, thank you.
So are you planning to have this in Houston?
That is our plan.
Okay. Well, we are going to look for that. So that's going to be, I'm sure, something you advertise when you get
Oh,
that
yes,
going.
of course.
That's great. And I'm sure a lot of people want to be part of that too.
Many people do.
I know a lot of people in the metaphysical community that, they have these things that they do, and I know a lot of them, their ultimate goal is to have something more concrete,
Right.
more mainstream, that is more accessible.
Exactly.
So-
making that positive transformation, taking what's internal and externalizing it to where everyone can assess that.
Right.
And that's a difficult bridge, taking the intangible of spirit and then thinking, how do I take the intangible and manifesting it, that alchemy, that transformative process. And I'm just grateful that I can share that with the community, taking what I've learned in my skill set and bringing others in, going, here are your talents, here are your gifts. This is how you create that abundance for yourself and others around you.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I do feel like it's something that's so needed. I mean, not just
It
in this
is.
city, but everywhere.
But all over, Austin, Dallas, any major metropolitan area. Ultimately, 55,000 people a year commit suicide. Number one factor in that is mental health and stress. Anything that we can do to reduce that number, to lessen that pain, to make life easier, and at the same time being honest with ourselves and being true to ourselves, where we can make a living with an emotionally clear conscience, is so important. Having that yin-yang dynamic of both service, of giving and receiving, that yes, we wish to give, but we wish to be compensated justly. And that is a very delicate, very hard path for many to follow.
And I think, for centuries we had people that do similar work, spiritual counseling especially, be people who work in a church or
Right.
that are part of an organization like that. And so, though the public has always been used to that being a free service,
Right.
you don't factor in the fact that there's tithings, that there's
Right.
there's money you pay to the
And
church.
charities.
And so, yeah,
Millions
there's always
upon
money
millions
there.
of dollars being donated to Mother Church. So we have what appears to be a free service when it's not. You have a 10% tithing of the congregation. You have charitable works. You have government discounts, and they don't pay taxes.
Right.
So when you have a situation where there's only multiple money funnels, but nothing really going out outside of whatever charitable giving that institution wishes to do, it's far from a free service. So making that transition from the illusionary state of what spirituality is to the reality of what spirituality is, at least as we see it as brick and mortar structures, is a very important psychological milestone to cross, especially if you want to maintain yourself, your own personal sense of integrity, but still value and honor yourself. And so many spiritualists don't, because they feel they have to give it away for free, and then they wind up in need or they burn out, which is why you have healers and light workers that last 6 months to maybe 5 years and then they disappear. It's why we have no stabilized community. It's why we have new personas coming in and out. It's because everyone gets burned out. And it's finding that balance in reality where if you wish to do this, this is how you need to structure it properly to do it for the rest of your life if this is your calling.
Right.
And finding that balance and structure is important.
And I feel working, I've worked in the metaphysical community for just over 20 years.
Right.
And I have to say that is probably the one thing that I really felt was lacking, though there's plenty of people who are beautiful light workers that have this energy and this in tune that want to bring that through. There is just a lack of support. So I feel like that's one thing this show is about, but also people like you that are actually trying to create that support, and it is so needed.
The infrastructure. We create the foundation, and then we allow everyone to do their thing by taking the harshness, the bricks out of the bag, if you will. We take care of the finances, we take care of the brick buildings, we take care of the work, we take care of the mundane. So you can focus on being the best you that you are, while we take care of everything else behind the scenes.
And that's what your center would create.
That would be what the center would create.
That's exciting.
Come in, here's a room, do your thing, clear cut what we offer is, a simple, fair, upfront exchange of services. And that way people are not struggling, going, well, where can I do this, or where can I find this, or how can I network?
Right. I think that's wonderful, and I can't wait to see it come to fruition.
Yes.
And I hope that everybody out there is watching also supports this, and if you want to send in a question or a comment and just let us know what you think or how you feel about that, and maybe even how you might want to get involved, feel free to send a message into the show, and we will we'll hopefully discuss it on a future episode with you.
That would be wonderful. I would be happy to come back.
That'd be great, and just to see where you're at and what you're doing at that point.
Oh, fantastic.
So is there anything else you want to share with our audience?
Oh, yes. As you said, we are licensed massage therapists. We do travel around the state of Texas. So if you're in Galveston, Katy, Humble, you find yourself, as we like to call it, behind the enemy lines where there's not a lot of spiritual outreach, please, we will travel to you. We will take that burden upon ourselves to make sure that you get the services you need. So we will travel to Galveston. We will go into Katy. We will go into Humble. We will go into Conroe. We will go into Austin and Dallas. We will go into areas that are not known to be pagan friendly, spiritually friendly, open, if you will. And we will keep your privacy. We will keep everything confidential. We are licensed professionals. We will treat you as professionals. And we will honor who you are. You don't have to change anything about your house, your decor, your lifestyle. Everything that we see is protected by a confidentiality agreement in writing, and it is legal. So we want to make sure that if you need a service and you are still in the perpetual broom closet, as the old joke goes, you can remain there and you can still get what you need and have professional services.
That's excellent. Thank you so much. And thank you for being on today, for
coming over here. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
And we really appreciate all the work that you're doing. So keep it up, and we hope to get back with you in the future.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And remember, you can send a message in, let us know what you're thinking, feeling about this. And if you have any questions, we'd be happy to tackle those for you. Again, we appreciate it. If you want to see anything more on Michael or talk to him, his website is michaelvachmiel.com. So thank you so much and have a great new year.
Bye. And thank you guys for joining me.